All right, so welcome to another tutorial video. So I've had a few people approach me, email me, talking about what is Flipgrid, how do I navigate through it, and how can I use it in my classroom. So essentially, what Flipgrid is, if you're familiar with, it's kind of like a kid version of Snapchat. The only difference is it's monitored and everything is saved. So essentially, what we can use Flipgrid for is to record. Student responses. So, what kind of responses? Well, it's pretty much up to you on what you want to do. So, it's just a matter of having students participate in conversation, so they can go ahead and give their ideas through recording. So, yes, students are a little bit shy and don't want to really participate out loud in class. This is a way of doing that, so they can actually record themselves. And then add little stickers and such through there, and it's really brief. So we'll get more into what it looks like, but it's a great thing here. Flipgrid, their slogan is student voice, so they want to promote students having a voice in the classroom. So let's take a look here. So we're at flipgrid.com. So you can access this through an app if you are on a phone or a tablet, or if you are pretty much on any internet-based device. Um, but if you can actually even go through actual the website itself, so flipgrid.com or the app. So you'll notice when you first sign in, right here at the bottom, they'll say here, enter a flip code. So if you're already accessing an existing Flipgrid uh, that you want to participate in, you just put the code in here, hit the arrow, and it'll send you directly there. So let's scroll down. So this is what it would look like on the student end. So the student end, each one of these tiles is representing a video, and they get the opportunity to take a picture, a selfie of themselves, and that's kind of like a title screen. And as you can tell, like there's different stickers they can stick onto it, and so on and so forth. But the green button right here is your, hey, I want to add to this flip grid. So I want to add to this grid. So they'll click on that, and that's when they'll actually be prompted to the screen for recording. So let's scroll on down. There it is again, showing the different that it's available on phones and tablets. Some different topics. And so over the summer, Flipgrid became 100% free. They partnered with Microsoft, and with that came a couple of changes. So different ways of students logging in, as well as a new interface. So it's a little bit different here. So it gives them how much time they have, how long the video is to download it. They even have this really cool option where they can put a sticky note, so they can put their information. So maybe they want to put the topic or the title, or they want to put their names or such. They can put other additional titles that would go across the screen, or they also have a countdown, so it's going to say how much time you have, and they can even edit their video out. They can attach links and so on and so forth with that. Now, the cool thing about it is the fact that they don't have to do it one time through. So you can actually set it to several different times. It maxes out at 90 seconds. So each video has a maximum length of 90 seconds. So what they can do is they can, as they're recording, they can record in sections. So it's not one time through. So the student can script out their information, and they can start recording. And if they forget something, they can just pause the video and then look back on anything, and then come right back and complete the video. There's also a great thing if you don't have a one-to-one ratio, you have students that are sharing, then you can even switch back and forth between partners. So there's not a lag. There's just, it cuts really quickly. You would think that students, it's pretty user friendly. You would think they would kind of get stuck. They actually figure it out pretty quickly. My suggestion to you would be to sign in as a student, mess with it the first couple times, and just kind of play with the different parts and see what they do. But the kids are really good about picking up on all the different little sections. So, also here it is, a student voices magic video for Flipgrid. I would suggest watching that to kind of get a feel as to what the students feel about it, and some different topics that they use it for. All right, so we'll come all the way back up here. Now, we can go ahead and we're going to log in today as an educator because I already have an account. If you don't have an account, I believe it's covered up here by, there it is, a sign up today. You can sign up using your email address. If you have a Google account, you can link it through the Google account or your Microsoft account. So you can easily just click the button and it automatically signs you in. So today we're going to go with the educator login. So when I click into the educator login, you'll see here, it'll show what grids you have. So right now, I have 5 hours and 35 minutes worth of student voice. So across all the different ones I have here. And what I found out was when over the summer when they made the change, I started removing some of the videos, and I didn't realize it. I was removing the students, excuse me, to create a new list, and actually lost all those videos. So once you add students to your list, you just want to keep them there, even though maybe the next year you have a new group of class, new class, excuse me, new group of students in the class, just so that way you have them, historically, because it's a great opportunity to show students, hey, this is what Flipgrid is. Look what other kids have done in the past. I didn't realize that until I was already, I went back here and realized, oh, I got rid of maybe about 20 hours worth of student responses. All right, so here it is. We have different topics. So these are your grids. So within the grids, you can actually make topics. So this is my first one right here. I have 4 different topics with 19 videos in it. I can even create the flip code that they're going to use, when the last time they responded, the hours of engagement, and then also the activity. So like this entire grid, I can make active or inactive, like if we're not going to use it anymore. So I'll do that. Oh, we'll go back. So we'll go like this one, I'll make inactive. I can also hit share, so I can share that out. So if I want students to respond to the grid, there is the link, and I can also show them the QR code. Now that's just for the whole grid. What we'll probably do is you'll want to use it just to share for the topics. So actions, again, you can edit the grid, view the topics, add co-pilots. You can add other teachers, duplicate it, get grid notifications, integrations. All right. So let's take a look at it. Let's go to Mr. Rod's responses. All right, so in Mr. Rod's responses, you'll see here I have 4 topics. I can just click new topic. And within here, when I've created a new topic, I'm going to create a title. So we'll just use title for right now. The topic tip is, again, it's optional. I can just add it in there if I want to. I can select here. Oh, hey, they've increased it. Okay, so we have a maximum now of 5 minutes. They used to just cap it at a minute 30. This has changed from the last time I saw it. So you can actually range from anywhere from 15 seconds all the way to 5 minutes. Okay, so they gave us some extra time there. All right, that's great. So again, you get to choose how much time the students have. So again, it makes them plan out their video a little bit more. So I tend to think maybe about the minute 30 is a pretty good amount of time. But if you want them to do a little something more extensive, then we're lucky enough to have these right here. All right, so the topic of the display date, that's when we'll go ahead and create it. And from here now, I can add in directions. So I can add in directions as to what I want them to do. I can include sentence stems, thought questions, or anything like that here. These are my directions, stems and questions, anything I want them to refer to as they're doing their video. All right, so let me just put here directions. Stems and questions. All right. Okay, so we scroll on down here, we'll see the topic privacy. So this is something that many teachers should very much take advantage of. So the video moderation, essentially what it's doing is that if it is left unchecked like it is right now, as soon as a student is finished with a video, they post it, it's immediately viewable by everyone else that's within that grid. I mean, that's really good. The fact that the student gets to see their video immediately is added to the community, but also on the other end, you want to make sure that you vet it. You want to make sure you go through it and see, are they using appropriate language, right? And it is appropriate for the situation. So I usually leave it. I go ahead and I'll click it on over. And as they're posting, I'm previewing their videos. And as soon as I preview it and see that, okay, yes, this is exactly what I want you to be doing, I submit it. I let it go. And so now they can start watching each other's videos. That one's actually something that I found very useful in the past. All right, so let's go ahead and scroll on down. So the topic status, I can choose here that it's active. That means anyone can be using it. Frozen, obviously it's frozen, or inactive, meaning that it's no longer available. So obviously I'm going to keep mine active. I can even say when it's going to go ahead and stop. It'll actually freeze. So maybe you want to go ahead and only leave it open for a couple, like for a month, for a couple weeks, for a couple days, or you just want it to, hey, it stops at the end of the year. You can designate that here. So we can scroll down to topic resources. So this is where you can actually include some form of a media along with the directions. So you can record your own video giving the directions. So that way now you have an audio component. You can upload the video. So you already have one there. You can add a video from YouTube or Vimeo, upload image, add a Giphy or Jiffy, however way you want to pronounce it, or add an emoji. So some of the topics here. Um, I can go ahead and attach a link and so on. So, but again, it's optional there. It's up to you. Um, all right, so now I get here to video features. So the students can decorate their selfies. So allows you can allow them what you want them to use. So you'll see here they have stickers and drawings, stickers only, or drawings only, or none of the above. You just want them to have take a selfie, or they can take a picture of anything, just basically that's representing them on the title screen. I usually just go with the stickers because then we get a little bit too crazy here. Okay. Video reactions allow students to react with the mic drop emoji, Flipgrid versions, and like. I haven't really messed with all that one all that much, so I just kind of turn it on, or I haven't really messed with it that much. Video views, that one's really cool because they get to see like, hey, I have 20 views, and it's all from their peers. It's not from some external sources. Student to student replies, this one depending on the structure of your classroom, you want them to reply to other students. Again, this is something that you want to monitor because you want to make sure that they're responding appropriately. So you can leave it on like it is right now, or you can turn it off and then kind of practice for a while, as a whole class, and then bring this back. Okay. And then video title, they can actually title their video. Now we come down here, we can provide feedback. We can provide basic feedback to the students. So, we can watch their video, give them their constructive criticism for their next video. Or we can also make custom feedback, but that requires the use of a rubric. Okay. So anyway, so now let's say like we've done all this, we're ready to rock and roll, and I can click the create topic. Success, your topic's ready to respond. Okay. So I'll go ahead and say, got it. And so you'll see now at the very right here next to title, the topic's moderated. So that's where we're saying, hey, we're gonna say the teacher gets to choose which videos are gonna be visible. All right. So this is what you would see on the teacher side. So it's again, there's a flip code. There's active, frozen, or inactive. I can share the topic. So this I want to share with my students. I can say, okay, here is the link. So actually go to flipgrid.com, right? And I can type in this whole piece, or they can go to flipgrid.com and where that section where it said enter code, it's this code right here. Okay. Same thing right here. If they're on a device, when they open the app, it's going to ask them for a code. They can punch in that one, or I can just give them the QR code and they can scan it using the camera. All right. All right. So this is what we would see on our side. Now we don't have any videos. I'll show you that in just a bit. Okay. Let's take a look at it from the view of a student. All right. So now here's where they would have to put in their ID number. So it's going to tell them right away, this grid is locked. Now, unfortunately for that, this is something that's a little bit new. They have to put in an ID number. They're stuck. They can't put in that code that we just gave them. The code was to give them access to the grid. But now that they're here at the grid, they need an ID code. Now you're going to ask, where do we go for that ID code? Well, I'm glad you asked that. All right, so you've made your Flipgrid, you're ready to go, and you have all the kids very excited, and they go to scan the code, they put in the code, and it gives them that block that says, shh, this thing is locked. Please enter your student ID. And everyone's looking at you, and you're thinking, what went wrong? All right, so I'm going to show you what to do with that. So That way you're not like with like me the first time I did this with the new updates. It was like, oh, okay, I messed up somewhere. All right. So what you end up doing is when you first create your grid, you have the option of deciding what kind of grid it is and who's going to participate. So let's say you created a grid, but you skipped that part. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So when you actually click a new grid, you get to select the topic, excuse me, not topic, the community type, and from here you get to choose. You get to choose also your background color. So let's go ahead and you'll go ahead and click next, and it'll prompt you to what we saw before we were creating your grid. Let me show you with our school community one. So I'll click on that one. And from here, I'm ready to go. And here we go. They're ready to go ahead and put in their videos. And that's when they give that block box and you realize, oh, I didn't put their accounts in. So what's going to end up happening is I come over here where it says edit. All right. This is what we saw before. You get to name your school community. You get to put in your flip codes. You could actually make these last sections. So you can put your name, your homeroom, or you can put the campus, whatever it is. So it's come down here. So community type, what kind of community type are you? So they have these options. So the first one is school email. So if they have a school email that's using Microsoft or Google, which if you're working in my district, every student has both. Actually, they have a Microsoft and a Google account. You can add them in here, and that's where they would type in, and then they would punch in their code. So you can have them do that. Now, you can also have them do a student ID list. Now, this is intended for the non EU participants. So, what you can do is you can have them here come and put their first name, their last name, and then their identifier, which mean that would be their code. So, it could be their student ID, their lunch number, or a specific code that you give them. Now, you can actually upload a CSV file. So, essentially, what that is like an Excel file, and you do the same thing. You just go ahead and you put all the kids' names, all the kids' last names, and their identifier, and then you can just upload it from here. Um, or like I said, you can do it one at a time. So it's just completely up to you. So you can add up to 250 students per grid. All right. And remember to add an identifier for yourself. All right, so there's that one. You can also do PLCs and public grids. So this one you can add or take on or off the password, but the only problem is it's still going to ask you to verify either using a Microsoft or Google account. So this does not get over this thing is locked uh, sign notification on the grid. So even though you're like, oh, I don't need a password, I can go ahead and just give it to the kids and can start working on it. No, they're still going to verify. So each one of these has some kind of a verification system. Okay. Then you can go ahead and get notifications. I'm gonna go ahead and say to turn this one off. I learned that the hard way after one afternoon and realized, why do I suddenly have like 60, 70 emails in a matter of 30 minutes? That's why. It's gonna notify you when you have an email. So I usually turn that one off. And there's all of these other sections that you can actually even include, captions and so on and so forth. There's your activation status yet again. You can drag and drop and upload your own image. So if you have like a YouTube banner or you have a logo or anything like that, you can upload it here, or you can just use one of the ones that they give you. Like, not like the cat. I have no idea. I think it's just the glasses. All right. So anyway, so we'll go ahead and we'll update the grid. And from now that you've added in those, you can actually see the student one. So I can go back to my grids and we'll go back to my responses. So we'll go to book reviews. I have no one on this one yet, but this is what it looks like from. Okay, so here are my directions for them, and this is where I would see their videos. Now let's take a look to see what it would look like as a student. So we'll view a student. So they've signed in, and they'll go ahead and put in their password. So and there we are. All right. So yeah, so I use the GIF or GIF, however you want to say it, to kind of just include a little bit of that humor for them. This is their summary, and here we are. So now when they click the green button, they can start recording themselves. Okay, and then from there they get to go ahead and play around with it. All right, so let's go ahead and make a flip grid of our own. So I'm going to go ahead and click the big green button right here, and that opens up the webcam. All right, so yeah, right now I have it covered up. Um, I just have it covered up for right now because it's the middle. Well, it's pretty late at night. I've got some serious bedhead. But anyway, so you'll notice right off the bat, at the very top, there is an equalizer, so it lets them know about the level in which they're speaking. So usually, when you have kids doing Flipgrid, and you notice this in their groupings, they can to see, they're being too loud. So they get to see right here the volume of their voice, and usually we kind of just when I'm showing it off, I show them this part and I go through. We can actually whisper and it's a really low amount. I can talk normal and it's right at the middle. But if I'm talking too loud, it starts turning red. So, all right. So right here it shows them how much time is left. Right here, I can actually click on it and it actually gives me my instructions yet again. Okay. It even tells you, R and P, record and pause. The right arrow is when I'm done. Okay. I can add my sticky. So I can write in, other little pieces and that'll actually show up on my video. Right. My options. I can choose the camera size. I can choose whether the audio is on or off, or I can import a video. Remember, we have access to exclude this or not. So let's go return to video. And just like normal, we're going to hit that record button. Counts us down. And so now we can actually start recording. You'll notice the little red line. The circle will actually complete when the full 90 seconds are done. So I'm talking, talking, talking. Oh, I forgot something. And actually pause now. Okay, let me look back on my notes. What was I going to say next? Okay, ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And we're back talking, 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 talking. Again, I can add my sticky. I can, as I'm recording, I can add my component there, or I want it to be a pop-up. So I give my whole explanation. Thank you very much. And I can hit pause. When I'm finished, I just hit the next button. And so now we can actually start recording. You'll notice the little red line. The circle will actually complete when the so you see there, they can actually review what they were doing and go, oh, So I had some students that we did. They were YouTube stars, so they had to record a lab and give like an explanation as if they were, doing a demo on YouTube. And as they reviewed it, they realized, oh, we were covering the microphone on the iPad, so they knew they had to go back and check it. So let's see here. And actually, let me turn off the volume so we don't get a double speak. There we go. A title to the section. Update title. Okay. And when they're finally through, they can actually move here. Now they snap the selfie. So they snap their selfie. And if you have some students that are a little self-conscious still, I let them like maybe they'll put something in the way. So I had a kid that for whatever reason always had a blow pop. So their selfie was a blow pop. Or they have their favorite shirt, or they want to include the campus logo. It just depends, whatever they want to do. So it's personalized. So they can go ahead and take a selfie. Then from here, they can actually add in little stickers and they can put around. So a lot of kids, you know, they like to go through the glasses are very popular. So they'll put like little glasses on each other. Um, the glasses are very popular. The bows are pretty popular. The facial hair, yes, also very popular, and the chains are extremely popular. So yeah, they get to go ahead and choose any one of these things, and they kind of get a little, carried away. But at the same time, um, it's fun for them. And a few of them actually is really funny because what they'll do is they'll decorate it based on whatever subject we are. So if we're in science, they got the sunglasses, the chains, and then science stuff all around them. And they have their they have the school stuff, so they'll put like the calculator out, or they'll put they'll go ahead and they'll put like the notebooks, or like, hey, today we're learning about, they'll have like their little notebooks there in the way. So it's just fun. So anyway, again, they can redo the whole thing or undo the last thing. Click next. And there it is, pending approval. So that's where you as a teacher can say, because it's moderated, we can say, okay, you've already uploaded, and we review it. Okay, you're good. And then it'll pop up right here. If you don't have the moderation on, it automatically goes up right there. and they can click on it and they can see each other's videos. And again, they can give the thumbs up. It'll show how many times they do the video, and they'll just go through each other's videos. Okay. And so that pretty much everyone is the Flipgrid in a nutshell there. Um, it's actually a pretty cool little thing for them to do. The kids get a kick out of it. They love watching their own videos, and it's also it's a way for you to gather data into whether or not they understand the concept, at what level are they using the proper vocabulary, and also it helps out because we can even give them stems questions and so on and so forth, and it can be really quick, really, and can be used for a variety of reasons. So you see already here, I have science video responses. So this is where any kind of exit tickets that we have, we can use this as an exit ticket. We're also expanding it to book reviews, book talks. I used to have one that when we used to watch, when Channel One News was still available, Channel One News, that we would watch the news and they had to summarize it, make a connection, pose any kind of questions or anything like that. So you can actually do it for so many different things. I've heard of teachers using it for open house. So, when they meet the teacher, so the kid can actually take videos introducing themselves. Hi, my name's so and so, and these are the things I like. So, rather than the old school questionnaire and having to read through all of them, they were just watching videos. And same thing with the parents. Hi, I'm so and so's mom or dad, and they can give you some more information that way. So, yeah, it's a fun little thing to do here. I would definitely try checking it out, making first ones. First time you roll it out, I would roll it out probably with a really small group, roll it out with a group of friends, with a group of teachers, kind of mess with it first. Don't try to build it and then okay and roll it right out into class and then it kind of fall flat. um, Practice it first couple times through, and then from there, roll it out slowly with small little engaging activities for the students. So I gave them the science video, and so their response was just, hey, tell me, here's a picture, tell me what kind of reaction that is or what kind of change it is, and explain to me why. I mean, so it's incredibly small and really short. It took them a little bit long because it's their first time kind of messing with it, but as you go through it, it becomes faster and faster and faster for them. And then they start discovering little things as they go. And from here, then you have a bunch of videos that you can refer back to. Okay. So if you have any questions, just feel free to email me or send me a message, send a comment. Don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the little bell. So anytime I go ahead and put up a new video, you're notified on it. If you have any other suggestions on any new ed tech, ed app tools that you want me to go and do, or you have any questions at all, just feel free to shoot me an email or send me a message. And I'm happy to do so. Anything to help everybody out. All right. So you all have a great day and thanks for watching.